Power on. Select your players.
Pierre, Sarah, Glenn.
Select your topic.
Games.
Select your format.
Entertaining podcast.
They're called the Button Boys. So make some fucking noise. 'Cause they're gonna talk about video gaming and stuff.
Button Boys.
Oh, we don't really use that word anymore, Sarah. Welcome to Button Boys. I'm Glenn Moore, joined as ever by Pierre and Sarah Keeper. The amount I can fuck you guys over straight off the bat with retrospective chiding and criticism. So, at home, text him. What do you think, Sarah? How bad do you think it really got?
Poll.
Yeah. How you both doing?
Well, I was good.
Yeah.
And now my career
And then you
is
had
over.
that outburst.
Yeah, good. I'm good. How are you, Glenn?
I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm going to get just straight into it in terms of what we've been playing, because I've been playing 2 football games this week. And I don't mean FIFA or anything like that. I've been playing 2 very original takes on the footballing genre. And one is a game that I've replayed because it came out a few months ago, and I decided to give it another go. It was such a short, brief experience. It was really nice. This is a game called Despelote. It's a very, very small indie game. It was made by one guy, and it's based on his experiences as a kid in 2002, hoping that his country, Ecuador, qualify for the World Cup for the first time. And the idea is it plays out almost like one long dream sequence. The background of every area in its first person is all very staticky, like TV static. And all the character models are basically black and white hand drawn, and they're basically fully 2-dimensional. And most of the game is just spent hanging around. If you in parks and your mum goes, okay, right, I'm going to the shops, but I'll see you back here in half an hour. And you can check your watch for half an hour and while down the time, or you can just run around and kick a football, and you can go to nearby shops and you can watch Ecuador's actual qualifying matches in real time. The real matches that we're playing as you hope that your country sort of qualifies. I felt the same way as I did when I saw Captain Phillips for the first time, where I didn't actually know the story of Captain Phillips. So I was like, I don't know if he lives or if he dies. And that made me really, really tense. In this, I had no memory of whether or not Ecuador were a part of the 2002 World Cup. And so you get really, really invested in this guy's story.
You're hoping with him.
You're really hoping with him. And I was so invested in this one person's personal story. And it's just an insane take on it. Whereas, like, I think if there was a game made about my experience,
But how does this gameplay work? You get it pops up and it says "Go to shop."
Yeah, basically.
Watch
it's just
telly.
it's so low stakes. There's a bit in the beginning where you're basically playing on a Sega Mega Drive, and you're playing like Italia 90 on the Sega Mega Drive, and your mum stands in front of a TV telling you to turn it off, and you're pressing buttons to look over her shoulder to keep playing the game. It's just so original. If they made a game about my experience of a 2002 World Cup, it would be helping the teacher wheel the TV back out of DT class because we'd gone out against Brazil, and then we then had 2 hours of DT.
Crying in DT.
Absolute one of the worst days of my life.
The most depressing thing is when you all have to continue wearing your England shirts for the rest of the day.
Go on, show us how you backed the wrong fucking horse.
You didn't bring a change.
So Despelote is one of them, and then the other one is a game called Rematch, which came out in the last few weeks, and it's basically a third-person football game. And this never sort of happens. It's like an over-the-shoulder third-person football game. It's 5-a-side. It feels insane to say it's like Rocket League, but it's more like Rocket League than it is like FIFA. But the idea is you have like a little aiming reticule on the screen, and that's where you press R2 or whatever, or right trigger to shoot. So it feels almost like a shooting game, and it just feels really fluid, and it's all very skill based. But I was so shit in the tutorial. But at the end of the tutorial, it cuts to a cutscene where there's an agent in the crowd, and he's watching you on an iPhone, and he's filming you. And then the idea is that film then gets sent to like a local football club, and you get signed by the local football club. But I was playing so badly in the tutorial that when it cut to a man filming me in the crowd, I was like, well, don't film me. Like, come on, man. I'm not doing like...
He throws his phone on the floor, grinds it into the dirt.
Great news. You've been selected for some sort of aggressive TikTok failure.
Yeah. Your lightsaber guy. Well, that's what I've been playing.
A generation of memes will crop up about how
it's humiliating. Absolutely humiliating, but cannot recommend enough. Despelote and Rematch, 2 very, very, very different footballing games. Sarah, what the fuck have you been playing?
Well, I the truth is I've been in a Dark Souls hole,
Yeah.
but I took a brief break from Dark Souls because, again,
A game that you need to take a break from to then play another game is not escapism, is it?
It's not at all, but I'm so stuck on it, but we'll get into that on the Patreon. But I had a friend come over and was telling them about Dark Souls, but obviously Dark Souls is not a fun game to watch somebody play.
It's not a sleepover game, is it?
No, it's not. And we were having a sleepover. Yeah.
You had a slumber party?
And we only had a short amount of time before we were about to be told to go to bed. But actually, we did then play probably the most sleepover game that you could possibly play, which is I have purchased. I think it might be. I don't even know if it's remastered. Worms Battleground.
Oh, nice!
Because I had such fond memories of playing it as a child, and I wouldn't say it holds up.
No.
It's,
What's wrong with it?
You need an extreme amount of patience, and famously, I don't have the patience because the turns are so quick. That you can't really achieve that much.
Yeah.
And when you're playing I think it's more fun when you're playing and there's like 4 of you and there's worms everywhere. So there's you're always when it's 2 of you and there's sort of only like 12 worms on the actual battleground.
A lot of it's walking.
A lot of it's like tunneling into the earth.
Yeah, I remember that bit about it. And also, when you're
Slowly,
watching someone else's turn, I get really annoyed about watching someone else's turn. My issue with turn-based combat is a bit like that tweet years ago of like me sowing, hell yeah, and then me reaping. I'm like, fuck, what the fuck is this? You know. And so I feel that way in turn-based combat. I'm like pummeling people. I'm like, yeah, brilliant. And then it's their turn, and I'm like, I'm not allowed to do it. What the fuck you?
I just have to stand here and
I
watch
get
this.
so unreasonably petulant about it.
But we ended up playing a lot of battle games. Like a lot of our battles were actually quite accurate to war. In that it took so long that eventually our worms would get sick and they'd sort of die of consumption or something like that.
Yeah, it was like World War I trenches
and then they
stuff.
lose like a couple of bits of health. And so often we just all just died of natural causes.
Your worms were writing poetry.
They got
So-
trench body.
Yes, trench body.
Yeah, I've just got trench me.
Trench me.
Yeah.
I've been trenched.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, that agonizing wait as you watch someone try to perfectly shoot a rocket into your character's face.
It's a taller person holding your forehead while you're just swinging your fists. Does that happen to you?
And the only way to make it interesting is to just go full kamikaze and do like a holy hand grenade or an Armageddon where you're just, and then it's just like who knows who will come out alive at the end of this.
Thank God you're not in power.
It's true.
That's my attitude to FIFA. I'm like, just score more than the other people.
Hand grenades.
In FIFA, hand grenades. Players stretch it off the pitch. We'd kill the medics as well. We did not discriminate. But it was just like, I'd be happy in FIFA if I won 19-18. That's just how I played, and a very relevant year to the to the ones who like. So, Pierre, what the fuck have you been playing?
Well, Dark Holes Nightmare. Dark Holes. Dark Souls Nightmare.
No, right. I thought that was deliberate.
I'm a dark hole of Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Obviously, in the Patreon, we'll discuss that. Still on Blueprints, obviously, because it's such a massive game.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how big it was.
Have you reached the end credits? Because I know that there's like end credits when you reach that room. For anyone who hasn't been made aware of Blueprints, it's a puzzle game that we spoke about on a couple of previous episodes where it's basically a roguelike and you're making a mansion room by room and you're trying to reach a certain room in the distance. And you're basically creating your own map.
I'm so far from end credits. I've got what I was going to say is I'm on page 4 of my notebook I started writing clues in.
Wow.
No spoilers.
No.
Did you ever finish the game?
No, I still, because I was having such bad luck. I will by the end of the year. I'm determined to. I'd be really annoyed if I got to the end of this year and didn't finish one of the most spoken about games
Did
of
you
the
ever
year.
find the magnifying glass?
Yeah, I found a magnifying glass, but I didn't know what to do with it.
Buddy, let me tell you one thing. You know those little things where it's just like a tool tip? Right?
Yeah.
Like it's a piece of paper on a desk and you walk up to it and you click, eye. Look at it. If you then examine it with a magnifying glass, you can see things in it. Like it's that. I can't
so
tell
like
you.
the lady's clothes fall off. And
Yeah. But then on her breast is written, "This is how these puzzles work."
That explains why you were using the magnifying glass on the breast.
Yeah.
Ooh, I gotta see these closer.
Genuinely, like it's answers to puzzles hidden within, like early in the game, you'll get a note that says, "Rooms are like squares made of walls." Like stupid, but this comes with a little illustration,
right,
of like an example book. Zoom in on the example book.
I will.
And it genuinely just has answers in.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, right. I don't like this game.
Every
There's-
time we're like pre-record and one of you goes, oh, and I've sort of still been playing Blueprints, but I'll tell you about that. I go, oh yeah, maybe this week I'll give that a go. And then we turn the mics on, you start talking about it, and I sit here and think, this sounds like the shittest game I've ever.
It does sound good when you hear us going, I mean, when you get to the agonising heartburn and diarrhea bit, you're like, why am I playing this?
No longing to play it whatsoever.
But like, I've got to the point now where I've got this notebook that's like the notebook of a killer, or like you'd be worried if you discovered it, because I'm writing down dates and information from documents that I found in one of the room's bins.
Right. And
Where
they're
it's
all
like-
really unfortunate dates, like the 10th of September 2001. Big plans tomorrow. Oh, no.
It's signed Osa. There's no way of knowing who used to live here.
My issue with the notepad thing was the game said...
Oh, this mansion is a cave.
I would love to play Blueprints Tora Bora expansion pack. Find Bin Laden's computer at the end of a cave system.
And if you win, the compound's all yours. I don't want the compound. Chris Pratt's going to come in and kill me.
Why did I inherit this cave?
I get to be a warlord in the Pashtun.
Yeah.
But
and
your
then you sort of
character's
go,
still a schoolboy in those little shorts.
yeah, and you sort of like the bedroom is just like a sleeping bag on the floor, and then you've just got the video room where there's a video camera, but you've also got to link it to like the internet so you can send it to George Bush.
Oh, God.
So, well, that's what we've been playing. Let's talk about our main topic of the day. Now, this was partly inspired by our good friend, the comedy writer Tom Neenan. And Tom Neenan got in touch with his personal gripe. And his gripe was, I don't want to have to design my character in a game. You're the game. You tell me who I am. I can't be bothered in choosing my hair length.
Spoken like a plain white man.
Don't say that about a plain white man who looks exactly like me.
Yeah.
Right. We're going to talk character creators. Do you guys care?
I cared a lot when I was a kid.
Depends.
Depends on what.
Depends on what kind of game.
Okay.
I didn't care with Dark Souls.
Do you think you would have cared if you were playing Dark Souls in 2011 when the graphics would have seemed good? I think the characters looked so relentlessly awful. I flicked through few different heads and I was like, none of these people look nice. And also, I guess you're in armor for most of it. I think I've always worn a helmet.
Yeah, and there's not a huge amount of difference between heads, is there?
Yeah.
You're not like,
It's very
oh, this is
plain.
going to really dramatically change the way I feel about myself in this game.
Yeah, they all look like balloons a hairdresser would practice on. You know what I mean? They're not very good or accurate.
And the hairdresser is bad when you get the hair involved. On a game like, we talked about it before, Tony Hawk's Underground specifically, that was, when I was younger, a way I could sort of channel gender identity as well. So I loved being able to characterize specifically, it would be a guy. And it would be like being able to create the perfect boy that I wished that I was. So it was quite expressive in that sense.
But was that based as well on the fact of the game is quite grounded? Obviously, the stuff you do in Tony Hawk's is insane, but ultimately that's an activity you can do, whereas going around with a sword is frowned upon. So do you reckon if Dark Souls was a more grounded experience, you'd have cared more about it? Was it because you're like, well, I want this person to channel me because this person's doing an activity, but I myself could eventually
I
do it?
see myself in every world. I really do.
Okay.
Or also Tony Hawk's, the clothes are like perfect.
They're cool,
like cool
skater
tomboy
clothes.
clothes.
Yeah.
I know. I think.
No, I got a
think
really
you're
cool
right.
Quicksilver chainmail vest in Dark Souls, actually.
Yeah.
I think that you're right. It's the graphics. I think if the graphics had been better in Dark Souls, I would have been more invested in making like a really cool, like making it look more interesting. But I think I gathered early on that there was not much to play with there.
What if you could? The best set of armor was a plaid button-down shirt over a white T-shirt.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. That's what I would be running around.
It gives you plus 20% vitality. It's like it's a real like buff. It's incredible. Yeah.
And it makes you really good with the ladies.
Yeah.
Pierre, do you care
I cared a lot.
about anything Sarah just said?
Do you care about any of us? Do you fucking care, man?
Do you really care about yourself?
Yeah.
You care about yourself?
He has let himself go, guys.
Did you make that T-shirt?
Yeah, what's going on?
I can't stop eating sandwiches. I just can't stop eating delicious
Talk
sandwiches.
to us, buddy.
That's the bit I relate to most in any game is when you eat to be able to do things. That's how I live my life.
It's so funny when you think about that as a healing mechanic, because I understand the actual like connection between, well, food is something you'd need to sort of stay alive in the first place. But in The Witcher, rolling around away from a boss as Geralt eats apple after apple is one of the most insane psych out tactics. I'm like, yeah, if I was the enemy, I would probably yield. I'd go, this guy is so much. A guy is doing roly-polies around me while eating 100 bananas.
It's very goodwill hunting, isn't it? You know?
Imagine it in UFC.
I would absolutely forfeit. I'd go, this guy is doing stuff that I don't.
Conor McGregor, wide-eyed, as the 7th or 8th banana.
Yeah. He's clearly never had braces.
Yeah, you go, oh, Conor McGregor, this is the most normal thing he's ever done.
I kind of prefer it to The Last of Us, where it just seems to be a sort of small bit of tape.
Yeah, you can hear the sound of like the sellotape.
Yeah,
it's that. You can hear it tear. It doesn't feel nice.
The idea of, but the character creation thing, as a kid, I loved making it look like me, or like you kind of, when you're a kid, you sort of get to make it how you think you'll be as an adult.
Right, okay.
That was always fun.
Yeah.
But then once I played a few games and realized that what I was essentially choosing was how difficult a time I would be having with the points, you know?
Yeah.
You just go, well, these points symbolize me about to potentially make a huge fucking mistake. Because the worst version of any character in any game is the guy who's 6 points in everything. So you go...
I have a real habit of doing that.
But yeah, it's the worst.
I spread myself thin.
It's the worst because you go, right, so I can't pick a lock, that's 8. I can't charismatically convince this person to give me the key. That's 8 charisma, I've got 6. I'm not quite strong enough to beat him, that's 8 strength, I'm 6. Like, just, you're not good enough to do the special ability in any category.
But I feel really empty if I'm like, but I feel like my version of me wouldn't be some lumbering fuckhead who's really strong, is bad at computers, but is also the luckiest boy on the planet. Like,
you don't like being lucky meet Larry?
Luck is a stat I have never pumped a single point into, because
Really?
I know, based on my experience of blueprints, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, but you're cursed by RNGs.
I'm cursed, yeah.
You'd
So
have to max out luck 20 out of 20 just to get to a normal person's level.
Yeah, I have the curse stat in Dark Souls. More on that later.
But maybe this is where the curse came from, because you never even bothered with the luck.
Oh my god! So I didn't put points into myself as
You didn't
I
invest
didn't
into the
believe
luck.
in myself points wise.
Yes.
You can't put some more in wisdom, Glenn. You're more clever than that.
It's like you're in life, you play one of those annoying games where an innocuous question in like the intro bit was actually crucial for the rest of the game.
That's a gripe. That's a fucking gripe right there.
Yeah. When they just go, how do you feel about the sunshine, boy? And you go, I don't know.
Or whatever,
Like,
yeah.
I like it, I don't like it. Give me some ham. Well, give me some ham. And then you've got the ham curse for the rest of the game.
The
Yeah,
aforementioned
you're like, we
witches.
actually are in We Like the Sunshine world.
Yeah, so actually,
And
when the
if
game deletes itself, and you go, what did I fuck? Are you joking?
Your laptop closes itself and then closes itself again.
Yeah.
folds up.
It's folded itself more than 8 times.
Grows little legs and walks out the door.
Yeah.
The aforementioned Witcher 3 has this issue where the game has so many decisions you make throughout 100 hours of the game, but there is maybe one scene where you have 3 what feel like very innocuous choices you make with your essentially stepdaughter Ciri, and those dictate which of the 3 endings you get in the game. And it is such bullshit.
Yeah.
It is such, because they seem so unimportant as well. One of them's about a snowball fight that you have. You just go, do not do this to
That's
me.
so daft.
So you both went for people who look like you. You both made...
Well, no, they didn't look like me.
But you tried? No, but
No.
but it was what you wanted to
Well, I
look like.
dreamt of being.
What you dreamt of being.
But then the other way
Aspirational.
I would play around with a character creator, especially if I was playing with sort of other people, would be like to try and do the funniest thing for the cutscene. So like the most, so if anything really serious is happening, like Tony Hawk's Underground, where you're arguing with Eric or something, and then it cuts to you and you're like you've got a sort of massive Mohican.
Well, there's nothing funnier than when you're a kid and in Pokemon Red or Blue, you've given your character the name Bumhole. Mm-hmm. And everyone just go, hey, Bumhole. Nice to see you, Bumhole. Wow, but hey, Bumhole, nice hat or whatever.
My dad would get so annoyed when I would have save files on Command & Conquer in between his save files, because his would be sort of like Roger 1, Roger 2, and then I'd be sort of like bum, 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 bum. And then with the font getting increasingly bigger, and he'd be like, I hate this, stop doing it. You're making the Tiberian, you're making us look silly. You're making it look really silly, actually. I've never been someone who tried to make stuff look like me. I was also never someone who had silly-looking characters. I think it really took me out of the game. I think FIFA would be the only time I ever did. I would always make a 6'9" guy with grey hair and a big grey beard, and his name was Pierce. And Pierce would just be like this absolute heavy number 9.
Unit of a man.
Yeah, absolute unit. I sort of enjoyed that, but then I think generally I just try to make a character look like cohesive, which gets really tricky with certain games in terms of which character creators I like and which ones I don't. I've never liked the Bethesda style of like Skyrim and Fallout games where it's not just a series of pre-chosen heads, it's stuff like cheek depth and chin depth. I can't do that. I don't know what any of those things mean. I'm not a contouring
You're
person.
not a sort of plastic surgeon.
I don't, and then they look normal, and then they sort of like turn around slightly, and you go, the back of their head is caved in. The back of their head is caved in. It's like a rubber duck that you've just squeezed the head too hard.
And you're only looking at the back of the head for the entirety of the game.
Yeah, it's like a concave head.
The amount of sliders to choose from, it's like eyebrow height, width, length, distance apart. Like it's like you're doing the most advanced Nazi hunting photo fit.
Yes.
It's incredible. You're looking for someone in Argentina, you know exactly what they look like. You could make someone, but inevitably you just get bored because your patience for the character creator is at its max at the start.
Yeah.
So inevitably, whatever you click on first, that gets the most attention.
They never lead with eyebrows,
But
do
I
they?
think it depends on the kind of person you are, because I'm identifying that the three of us have no patience for the details of her face.
Yeah.
Whereas Louisa, when she started playing things like The Sims and stuff like that, would be like, but it just doesn't quite look like me. And I'm like, who cares? Play the game.
Yeah.
Just click continue and get on with it. And she's like, no. My eyes are not that close together. And I'm like, who fucking gives a shit?
I hate to tell you, they are.
Yes. It's you. I don't want it's you. I definitely, when I was a kid, sort of channeled my inner Dr. Frankenstein whilst playing WWE because
You could make some horrors on there.
But you could also, it gave you. I feel like the character creator was like all of the different features from the cast of characters you originally had. So you could sort of take Triple H's hair and put it on the Rock.
Or with the Rock's raised eyebrow.
Yeah, and you'd just be like, what would it look like if Stone Cold Steve Austin had the Rock's bum? Just sitting there going, oh, I like that.
And Vince McMahon's big suit.
I'm creating the perfect wrestler.
I could never have the patience to make it look like me exactly. And then also, like in Skyrim as well, all the choosing and stuff, like, am I the Dragonborn? And I would just get embarrassed. And so if you're not making it look like you, then you just go, I'm 7 minutes into the game and I've just been trying to figure out cheek stuff.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it, you just go, yeah, click, fuck this. When I was a kid, I would do funny ones. We just got like a guy who's got 1/2 meter wide mouth for no reason.
It ruins every cutscene.
But as a kid, it's so funny.
Yeah,
It's so funny to ruin something that's supposed to be serious.
Yeah.
Because you're not equipped to deal with its seriousness anyway. So it'd be like, I've always found you so attractive. Like, it's kind of insane. You can make people look like they've had plastic surgery. I think a lot of people on reality TV look like character creator fuck-arounds.
Yeah, that's true.
Just like crazy bum lips.
Yeah.
Like narrow head, no cheeks.
That's how they do the design when you go into a plastic surgeon. They've just
Yeah.
got a character creator and they're like, how about this? And they slide it along.
Would you prefer if you went to the hairdressers or barbers and it was like GTA where you sort of go, okay, and then they just have this big slider and sometimes you have a shaved head and then sometimes you have like an afro and sometimes you've got a ponytail.
I'd love
and you just
that.
go, yeah, back to that one, please. That's one thing that
would love that.
video games cosmetically have never really been able to nail is the realism of a barber's. And what they should have when you go to Red Dead, there should be photographs in the window and you choose photographs of a different person
Yeah, but
and you
it
say
should
like
be,
that
should be
and
like
then they make
Cristiano
it.
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And there's Arthur and you're like, he's never been here. He's never been.
A lot of pictures that still have Getty written across.
Yeah.
Of like a businessman on a phone.
That's what is Getty Images.
Have I remembered this wrong? Because I feel like in Red Dead you have to have. Can you do the thing where your hair suddenly gets longer?
Yeah,
Or do you have to grow
Red
it
Dead
out?
is really dynamic and it allows you. Most Rockstar games are like, well, I say most. I think it was GTA San Andreas and then Red Dead. Just your hair has to grow out first.
Yeah.
And the same with like sideburns. It does. You can't choose to have a much longer hairstyle.
You can't go to the barbers and say, I'd like seven
I'd
foot
like
long.
shoulder length. No,
I'd like more hair, please.
Yeah. You've got to just wait it out and let it happen, which I guess is more realistic. Arthur is a really interesting example of this in Red Dead 2 because you do have no say over his face, but you do have a bit of a say over how he has his hairstyle and his beard, and it's because it all sort of grows out naturally, and you can shave at your camp and every day.
Yeah.
And for some reason, even though I had no say over his general sort of appearance, I really cared about Arthur's hygiene.
Yeah.
And I would wash him every morning with my hands, and I'd make sure his
With
sideburns
your
were always the right
hands,
length.
somehow, not his hands.
Yeah.
These are Glenn's hands.
And he had the real sort of like 1910s pencil moustache, which I really made sure was just perfectly created. I really cared.
Really?
I think it's because I loved him.
Yeah.
Because he was the canonical character. Whereas in another game, like I think I agree with Tom Neenan where I'm like, I do have a bit of a fun with character creator. I'll happily have fun, but there is a bit of me sometimes that I'm like, you do want to say to the video games company, like CD Projekt Red, tell me who you had in mind. Can you give me a generic person? Tell me who you had in mind, and I'll probably just play as them.
Don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But then this is the problem as well, is that with some games, they'll give you a character creator, but they haven't changed the game.
Yeah.
So you'll go, okay, well, I'll make like a gnome. Like a little gnome man.
Yeah.
And then all the dialogue is still, you're a tall, strapping Mohican, purple-haired boy, aren't you?
Yeah, and whenever it's one of those two-headed cutscenes, when it goes back to you, you're not visible because you're below the camera.
They're still using that model.
Yeah, it's just your forehead, and you go, "Oh, this looks silly."
But he's
There's
still
a little
looking
sign
upwards.
saying you must be this tall to be in this game.
Yeah, it doesn't let you do any of the missions or anything like
But
that.
the character's still looking upwards, going, look at the size. And you go, well, this is ruining this.
What do you? Let's talk genitals.
Button Boys.
Let's talk genitals.
Okay.
Is that something you make a conscious decision on if the game allows?
Oh, in the game?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, sorry, I thought
Let's talk separately.
Yeah,
what are we working
I
with?
choose not to have any.
Not to have any at all. You go full
real life.
Barbie Ken. Yeah, that's nothing at all.
I don't think I've ever played a character creator where genitals come into it,
Is
actually,
this just
Glenn.
Baldur's Gate and Cyberpunk?
Baldur's Gate and Cyberpunk and horribly Hogwarts Legacy. You're playing like
Yeah. And if you get it wrong, J.K. Rowling marches in.
Again,
No. Well,
Again,
now,
your computer folds itself up.
now that we've brought it up, because we did sort of swear never to mention it, and I nearly brought this up when you were talking about the game not adhering to it.
Yeah.
The hilarious thing about Hogwarts Legacy is that regardless of the gender of your character, they use they/their pronouns throughout the entire thing.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Because they haven't written it into the game to like cater it to he or she, depending on the character you choose. In fact, I think that you can be quite genderless within your characters as well.
Yeah, I think because it's a weird like there's like a trans shopkeeper in
Yeah,
Hogsmeade
yeah.
and stuff like that. It's like a lot of it seems to be a real fuck you to J.K.
It
Rowling.
is, yeah.
But
Okay, yeah.
a weird thing about the Hogwarts Legacy character creator is that you could change.
Are you saying that a lot of politicians are really worried about their legacy after they die?
How would you define a woman? A woman is somebody with a legacy.
In Hogwarts Legacy, in the character creator,
You put your full
you could
legacy into this.
You could change there were so many voice options because usually they have sort of like male A, male B, female A, female B, and in Hogwarts Legacy you could change. There was like a slider that you could change dramatically. But what it meant was everyone's voice was weirdly metallic and tinny because it was basically fed through an AI. Oh. So the characters in your character in Hogwarts just sounded really horribly tinny and strange. I think that was a real misstep. But in terms of genitals, it's Cyberpunk and it's Baldur's Gate 3 where they offer a wealth of different options. And I think that's the weirdest I've ever felt in a character creator. It's the most uncomfortable I felt because I'm like, well, who am I choosing here? Is this a reflection of me? Is it a reflection of who I mean, I mostly play female in RPGs, almost entirely. And I don't know why.
Is that a feminist act, do you think?
It's not a feminist act. No,
Yeah.
it's just like sorry, but I didn't
I
mean
would
to
like
say
it on
that
record.
firmly.
It's not a feminist act.
Cannot
Yeah.
stress that enough.
Yeah.
No,
It's
not
just
a,
when I die, I want to see a woman die.
Is it because you want to watch women walk around from behind? Because all the women you
I
follow.
hate this. I hate this. I hate this.
All the women
I hate to
follow
see you
in
go,
real
but I'd love to watch you walk away. And I'll
always-
always be behind you.
You've always wanted to follow a woman through a maze. It's the only way you can live your dream.
I'm so excited about GTA 6 with the female protagonist because it gets to me to experience what it's like just following a woman through Miami.
You're really angry when the sun's up.
Okay, no, go on.
Yeah,
then.
no, real.
No,
I
do
really dug
explain
myself a
it.
hole
Go on,
here.
explain
Explain
it.
I don't know
yourself.
why. No, I just think I don't really know why. But what I liked in Baldur's Gate and Cyberpunk is the way they do it is you have a series of about 40 different hairstyles and 40 different sets of eyes and 40 different mouths and noses, and you basically choose from a catalogue as opposed to having to sculpt your own.
Tell me about the women's genitals.
Yeah.
What are they?
As far as I remember,
How many vagina options do you get?
genital options.
And is it trans friendly? Is it sort of like
It's trans friendly because I think regardless of genitals, you then because you can choose whichever genitals for, even if you have like a very male passing protagonist, then you can still choose vagina options.
They're not linked.
They're not linked, and I think
Yeah.
pronouns are then separate to that as well.
love it?
Dragon Age: The Veilguard, which came out last year, had
That sounds like a fake mobile game.
no, Dragon Age is a big series
I
made
know,
by BioWare. It's made by the same people as Mass Effect.
But Dragon Age: The
And
Veilguard.
Last year, you had your character could then come out as canonically trans, like halfway through the game.
Oh, great.
Yeah, but they had options for things like you could have like top scars and stuff like that.
I do think that the best way to sort of psychoanalyze a child is to make them do a character creator and see what they do. Because
Yeah.
I had to have like psychological assessments to be diagnosed with gender dysphoria, and I think what I should have done is come and watch me play The Sims. You'll see.
Yeah, you'll see.
You'll see who I truly am.
I've brought someone here who I think can explain it better than me.
Yeah.
Wadabodu now. This subtitled Simlish. Is it called Simlish?
Yeah, Sarah's not here, but Craig is. I loved the name Craig when I was younger.
Really? Was that your go-to?
Yeah, but now in hindsight, Craig is such a sort of like plumber name, isn't it? At the time,
And what's wrong with that?
I think that I hate plumbers. Did I? Not?
Yeah, sorry, I completely forgot.
But I really thought it was a cool name.
Yeah,
It's
interesting.
really, and I think it's because Craig. There's a guy called Craig who won Big Brother, and I thought he was cool.
Oh yeah, no, Craig was excellent. Who won Big Brother 2? It was Brian. Who won Big Brother 3? It was Kate Lawler. Okay.
Glenn's
Kate
knowledge of
Lawler.
popular culture is
So,
terrifying to me.
Screen Rant have got an article in which they lead with the sentence, Cyberpunk 2077's genital customization does not affect gameplay.
You do not have enough foreskin to get through this door. God damn it!
Yeah.
I knew that would be a problem.
Yeah, you can't meet a character who's a bris because they're like, why would you? You have no need to meet with the bris.
You can't pick locks because your balls are too high up or something.
I can't think of a game in which it has ever affected gameplay, but players in Cyberpunk have the ability to choose between 2 penis options. There's one which is still like a bit of a hefty hog, and then there's one that's an even longer hog, and 1 vagina. But they can select 1 of 5 pubic hair styles.
Oh, okay. So it's not as many options.
I do think it's a bit reductive to say that there's only one type of vagina.
I
in
think
comparison.
so too.
Yeah.
I think if
quite a good
you're going to
football
have
chant.
a massive penis and an even massiver penis, you should have a massive vagina and then a humongous vagina.
Yeah,
There we go,
Yeah.
And it should be a weapon.
Yeah.
I guess we're talking directly from the front is the only camera angle you'll ever see. So in terms of visibility, but
And that would be a shame, wouldn't it, to know that there was a massive vagina that you cannot see.
exactly, yeah. Baldur's Gate 3 has the options are vulva A unshaven, vulva B shaven. So again, exactly the same vagina, but it's just a hair thing.
Vulva be shaven.
I think there are more. I think there are more.
That's a drag queen name.
Yeah. Vulva be shaven.
What are your drag names, by the way? Do you know what your drag name is?
I own a gun.
It's Craig.
Oh, very nice. I'm former Tory MP Glennie Mordaunt. Penis A, uncircumcised, unshaven. Penis B is circumcised, unshaven. Penis C is uncircumcised but shaven. Penis D, circumcised but shaven. So you get 4 dick options and 2 vagina options in Baldur's Gate 3. And I would say that does make a big part of gameplay because the sex scenes in Baldur's Gate 3 are so involved. And there's a whole bespoke cutscene for all of them as well. Whereas Cyberpunk is more, it's a bit cut to a roaring fire, I'd say.
Oh, yeah. Okay, like Witcher.
It's I'd say it's pretty graphic, but on the person you're having sex with, as opposed to there's anything involving you.
And does the vagina stay unshaven for the entire game?
Do you know what? There's never ever been any sort of maintenance in a game. I don't think you've ever had to deal with that. Arthur
So
Morgan
you
had
do-
never.
you-
Arthur
one
Morgan-
leg up.
Arthur Morgan never had the option to, Dutch, I'm just saving my balls. And everyone in the camp is getting, Arthur, do you really have to be shaving your balls?
Choose how long you want the ball.
Yeah. I'll be out in a second, Jose.
It's got to be near the fire.
That would be great
Won't
if
be
it was,
long enough
if
to-
it was the same mechanic as like fishing in Stardew Valley, where if you go wrong, you sort of nick the ball.
And his health goes down slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
he goes,
have to go, better be more careful next time.
and then he's sort of he's sort of walking with a little bit of a limp.
Yeah, it doesn't affect gameplay too much, but it's a bit of a debuff. It's a slight debuff.
Yeah, and then it comes up with a little thing, you've nicked your balls. You've got to go find some lotion or something.
That's actually the big turning point in Red Dead Redemption 2 is not he's diagnosed with tuberculosis, but he sees a doctor and the doctor's like, bad news, I'm afraid you nicked your balls.
You nicked your balls.
Well, what am I supposed to do now?
There's one of the people in one of the brothels who won't see him. But
Yeah.
without a smooth coin purse. Return to camp and
Yeah, it's one of those bits of the game where like people heckle you on the street.
Smoothball.
Yeah, hey, Smoothball. Oh, fuck you, man.
And you just think, how did the NPCs find out?
Yeah.
I hate it when games do that. There should at least be a
It should
delay.
be, I'm wearing trousers. I'm wearing crotched chaps.
It's that bit where there's a witness in Red Dead Redemption. You've got to kill the witness.
I won't tell anyone, sir. I'm sorry.
Running through the town. We shaved them. We shaved
Arthur, you can't be in our camp no more with your balls so shaved.
That one that was bleeding balls. Come back when you're healed.
Because
It affects aiming down the sight. You keep going.
oh man. But Red Dead had
You can't get on a horse.
but they had horse testicles that shrunk and swelled up based on the temperature of where you're at.
Do you know what?
That's how detailed it is.
Not something I ever noticed, Glenn.
No, it's one of those things
Not
of like
something.
100 details that will blow your mind about Red Dead, and every article would always open with
Yeah.
the balls change shape.
Yeah, and you've written it because you're the one riding into the cold area.
Yeah, you go, but it's so weird the details that Rockstar tend to put in which you sort of go, the balls of this horse shrink and swell up based on the temperature you're in when you're riding it as Arthur Morgan, a man who has never gone to the toilet in any of the game. At no point in the game. I was there real time for the whole thing. He's never been to the bathroom.
Do you think they put the game in front of like a horse pervert? And they were like,
how are we defining the horse?
is this biblically accurate for the horse?
Yeah, bigger.
Yeah.
Whoever coded it was in a room on their own.
Yeah, I feel like it's too much of a niche detail where you go, you have actually there's other things that you maybe could have focused on.
Yeah. I think that's the risk with getting into like pube trimming or anything. Like once you start doing character admin below the belt, you get into toilet zone.
You do get into toilet
And now
zone.
you've got a weird toilet game where your character has got like -10 fiber in their diet, so they have to spend +3 hours on the toilet or something. It becomes insane.
A horrible shitting minigame.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, you're debating with yourself whether to have the sweet corn for the health when you know it's going to come back to haunt you later.
It's like want to play some Gwent or whatever, but it's just you on the toilet. Tapping X to strain. Yeah, you're opening a can of bums.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you say can of bums?
Yeah,
Real can of bums.
a real can of bums.
In terms of character creation, name choice is another thing where obviously you can, like I did with Pokemon as a child, call your character Bumhole, call your rival Bumhole, whatever it is that makes you laugh the most. When you get that weird like trainer dialogue before a Pokemon fight.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah.
could talk, name your enemy. That was fun.
Yeah, and Professor Oak saying, "This is my other nephew, Bumhole."
Yeah.
I have not done that as an adult, but there is a moment in Stardew Valley at the beginning where it says, what is your favourite memory? What's your favourite thing?
Yeah.
And because I was playing on Twitch, I think I just put cum. And it then I forgot all about it and nothing came about. And then about 50 hours in, you encounter this really rare item. And the text at the bottom goes, you've encountered a rare item. The smell and the fragrance reminds you of cum. And I had so forgotten that was something I input that I felt scared. And I went, what's happened to the game? What's happened to the game? The game's gone wrong. What's happened to the game? Sorry, what's happened to the game? Waiter, there's something wrong with the game.
Do you think they did that on purpose? They knew that
They knew
everyone
people were
was
going to say it reminds you of shit.
Because
it
we
let me
leave
put it in.
long enough. You wait long enough.
It was so long. I couldn't have. It felt scary.
Yeah.
It felt like the game was like, I know you are disgusting.
So many people have put your mum.
Yeah. It was that's the only time I've ever really been silly. I'd always do male character if you're forced to have a male character. I'd always call them hero, but with an I instead of an E, like in the TV show Heroes from like 2005.
Oh, yes.
Because I liked that TV show at the time, and for some reason that's just a tradition that's just kept. And I've said this before that if it's a female character that I mostly play as, they're always called Astrid. And I think because that is a name that can span grounded and it can span fantasy genres from thousands of years ago, and it can span sci-fi as well. And I think that's an okay name.
Yeah, I mean, mine would always be like the coolest boy name I could think of. So you get like a
Derek.
Derek, yeah, Ian.
Terry,
Yeah.
Mick,
No, but like
Reg.
AJ or TJ. Something like that. Yeah.
My name the name I always wanted when I was a kid was the same as yours. We discussed this on ButtPod, Max.
Yeah.
Mad.
There was a period of my life where I wouldn't answer to anything other than Max when I was about 5 years
had
old
that as
because
well.
I liked
Really?
Mighty Max so
Yeah.
much.
Max
the way
is
he
a
wore
cool
like
name, yeah.
Cool
a baseball
sideways
cap
hat.
to the side, and I was just like, my parents would be like, Glenn, and I'd be like, shut the fuck up.
My Dark Souls character, as we discussed on the Patreon, is called Porcules, which I'm quite pleased with. But yeah,
But it never comes up, does it?
It
I
never
think
comes up.
It comes up in other people's games. If you invade or you get invaded, and it's like,
But it would
you've been invaded by Pope
Yeah.
Pius Pierce, and you go, oh,
but it takes me out of a game if it's my name,
yeah.
and it takes me out of a game if it's a silly name, and so then you just end up saying Agamemnon. What am I doing? I almost resented asking for the name.
The worst I screwed myself over was there was a period where my PlayStation username was just Glenn Moore because I didn't think it would ever come up. And then in lockdown, when we were playing when we were playing Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone, you wanted to be sort of like XTX 420 or whatever, whereas instead it would be like, you killed Glenn Moore.
Glenn Moore off the telly.
That happened about 3 times where I'd get like people negging me over the headphones and being sort of like, Are you Glenn Moore? And I'd be like, I'm Glenn. Yeah. It was just awful. I hated it so much.
And you couldn't change it.
I was both flattered to have been recognised and horrified that it came under embarrassing circumstances.
I once joined a squad in Hell Let Loose, and they messaged me on Instagram later
Oh, that's invasive.
because they recognised my voice from BudPod.
Oh man,
so
it's a
strange.
How
compliment,
weird
but
is
it is
that?
invasive. I think that's really
It's
invasive.
filled
I
me
have
with fear.
a Dark Souls story to tell about this, but I'll save it for the Patreon.
Should we get a bit gripey?
Let's get
Yeah, let's
gripey.
get gripey. So this is one that I agree with. I got sent by Matthew on Instagram. Unexplained invisible walls. Just let me fall off the cliff and die. It's a learning experience. I
think it depends on the game, but I this was a really strange thing in Black Myth Wukong, which was one of the sort of biggest games of last year. And it's a bit Souls-like-y, I guess, but it's more sort of action RPG. But for a game that was so detailed and so gorgeous, you would run to the end of a short precipice where there's a little lake below you, and your character would just be running into invisible walls, and you go, it's 2025. And at the time, it was 2024, but you go, there's still no excuse. It's so bizarre.
It's nearly 2025.
Just let me die. Let me die. I'll happily die and learn my lesson.
Well, the first-person shooters, especially the World War II ones, deal relatively well with this, where they've gone, it's a minefield.
Yeah.
It's a minefield. You have to go this way because of mines. And even one of the first German words I learned was meinen. which
Because
means
of
mutton.
that. Because you tried to explore the boundaries of Medal of Honor.
It just said meinen with a skull and crossbones, and I thought, I'm pretty sure I know what this means.
Yeah.
But I think I'll try.
I don't like it in a game that involves any sort of flying where it says, you're leaving the mission area, and they give you such an unreasonably short amount of time. 5, 4, 3, and you go, I've worked for you now for 20 hours. Give me the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not running away. I'm not abandoning my post.
Yeah. And sometimes it feels like it accelerates.
Yeah.
Warning, leaving game area. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
And you go, sorry, your character exploded and you lost all your items and now you're back to level 1, actually.
How weird for the people on the ground that saw that happen. It's all like, oh, he flew just over Staten Island and he then just
veered off,
vanished.
yeah.
He vanished. So I guess he must have been one of the bad ones. My gripe for this week is scaled leveling. This is, you get this a lot in Assassin's Creed, where they try and gate areas, and I get this makes sense to me. I think this is ideal. Let's say an RPGS game like Assassin's Creed. At the beginning, you're level 1. In your main area, everyone else is level 1. In the next area along, everyone's level 5. So you go, I'm not going to go to that area until I'm level 5. That makes sense. I'm okay with that. What I don't hate about this sort of game is when you get to level 20, all those areas from the beginning, they're now level 20. They all scale up with you. And you go, no, I want the joy of going back to my hometown and killing all the people who made my life a misery ages ago.
Yeah.
Is there something, not in real life, but like, isn't that perfect? But like, why are you denying me that? Why has everyone else had a Rocky training montage while I've been away as well? That's not fair.
Yeah,
I've been doing the legwork. You've still just been working in the village.
You want to be able to turn up and sort of Sandy from Greece your way back in.
Exactly that. I want to be Sandy and I want to be wearing full leather. And then I want to be in that car that at the end of Greece, it flies up into the sky and it says, you're now leaving mission area.
Come back, Sandy, come back. Sandy explodes.
Deserters will be shot. It's like that Call of Duty World War II Soviet game. Warning. So you
abandoned the mission area.
Your teammates have flown away in a car.
They're all on the ground singing
Go back and finish the song. Finish the song, Sandy.
Your teammates need to finish the song.
Bibbidi Bim show up.
Travolta gets a respawn, but Olivia Newton-John died in the gulag.
It really ruins the game when you can't get Sandy back.
It's just in the top of the gulag are just loads of T-birds and stuff, just throwing rocks at each other, waiting for their turn.
I love when playing Warzone, saying different reasons why you have to do the mission on your own, where they've got some kind of Hollywood cockney to do that VO. Just be like, your teammate's gone to Brazil to find himself. It's up to you now.
Your teammate's trying to consolidate all his monthly payments into one easily manageable mortgage.
It's up to you.
Well, fuck
Don't
scale
worry,
leveling.
he'll meet you there. Once he's done his tax returns.
So yeah, scaled leveling is something that I hate. It happens in like Diablo as well, a game where the whole point is you are just making your way through swathes of just awful little goblins, and it should be so satisfying to be able to take an enormous sword and just wipe them all out in one go, and it just rids you of that satisfaction because they go, they've actually learnt and grown alongside you. It's really dog shit.
Since you've been away, we've all been growing up as well.
Yeah. Hate it.
I've got a similar but not the same gripe, but I'll save it for the Patreon.
Ooh.
We'll slide into VIP zone. This gripe has to do with Battlefield 2.
Oh,
anyone who
okay. Bit of
remembers that.
not a deep cut, but an old cut.
Yeah, classic.
Well, that's the main episode. If you want to hear us carrying on talking, remember we do an extra episode every single week, which you can find by signing up to our Patreon. Remember, if you're listening on the usual platforms, you can also watch this on YouTube every single week. Remember to follow us on social media, on all the Button Boys social media, as well as our individual ones as well, Sarah Keyworth, Pierre Novelli, and myself, Glenn Moore. But it'd be lovely to have you. You can find all the details of where to find us on our Discord or online or anywhere else in the episode description of wherever you've been listening. But thank you so much for being part of this. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Pierre. Thank you, our producer, Ben Drayton. Music by Jazzy Emu. And we'll see you next week.
Button Boys.